Alpha versus Beta-Mails. Ich hoffe, ihr wisst, was ich von diesen ganzen Alpha versus Beta-Mails halte. Bro. Alpha, Sigma, Beta-Mail, Digga. Falls ihr euch fragt, warum die Kameraqualität so schlecht ist, das Video geht 1 Stunde und ich habe jetzt einfach meine Streaming-Cam, die geht nicht leer. Meine normale Kamera, mit der ich normalerweise aufnehme, die geht schnell leer, deswegen nehme ich die. Aber ich versuche das für euch so zusammenzuschneiden, dass es nicht 1 Stunde geht, die Reaction. Alphas versus Betas.
Step forward if you agree with the prompt.
Also die Alphas werden sich wahrscheinlich Alphas nennen, aber die Betas, nennen die sich selber Betas oder ich bin ein Beta oder Digga, also diese Namen sind schon, Digga.
Men are designed to want to sleep with multiple women.
Das ist eine gute Frage. Ich glaube auch, wisst ihr, so natürlich, dieser Trieb ist in mir drin, so mit vielen Frauen wie möglich zu schlafen. Aber ich kann diesen Trieb irgendwie kontrollieren, weil wisst ihr, nicht alles, was in unseren Trieben drin ist, sollten wir ausleben.
Yeah, I would say I definitely agree that men, want to sleep with multiple women. I think it's natural because one of the things is because we have so much sperm that we produce so much sperm, and that makes us want to repopulate the earth basically. And so a lot of times what happens is I think that society is telling men not to do that for whatever reason, you know what I mean? And some guys fall into that, but I definitely believe that, men actually want to be with multiple women because it's just a natural thing in us. This is why you hear all the time, men always cheating and guys feel like they,
Es ist natürlich, aber es ist nicht gut, wenn man so das auslebt. Weil das führt auch nicht zu einer besseren Gesellschaft, wenn Männer so 50.000 Frauen haben, Digga.
Oh, trying to hide the cheating and everything like that. And if it was natural for them to just want to be with that one woman, then cheating wouldn't even be an issue. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, I think for the way we were cultured, I agree with that. But also just through human history, right? For survival, maybe this is old school thinking, but it's just like for survival, you need to have lots of kids. So if someone's pregnant, how do you keep multiplying? You just, more women, right? Not saying it's right or wrong, but it's just kind of the way. I think women even cheat too. It's like 50-50.
Yeah, I think women also want to do their thing, you know what I'm saying, in some situations, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's just men. I think it's a natural, I feel like because that desire is there, it's a natural thing for, if we're talking specifically men, that desire to want to do it is natural in us, so then therefore you're going to want to do it. So I don't think it's a natural thing to just be with this one woman, but at the same time when I'm with this one woman, I only want to stay with her. It's almost like I'm lying to myself if I just want to be with her, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. But the question is,
Digga, ich verstehe das nicht. Also ja, natürlich ist es dein natürlicher Trieb, aber Bro, kannst du dich nicht so disziplinieren, bei einer Frau zu bleiben, Digga? Die ganzen Alphas haben doch sehr viel Disziplin und gehen ins Gym und so weiter. Warum habt ihr keine Disziplin mit Frauen, Digga? Oh, ich kann das nicht, es ist gegen meinen natürlichen Trieb. Es ist auch nicht mein natürlicher Trieb, dass ich jeden Tag ins Gym gehen will, aber trotzdem mache ich es.
But it's like, especially, here's the thing, especially when you're in a relationship, right? It's like, it's better to grow together with somebody than multiple people, which I totally agree. But I think in the dating terms, it's like, there's nothing wrong with being multiple women. Because I think that's just dating. It's experimenting, it's finding other people. But are we naturally made to just always be with one person? It's like, if that were true, then these first thoughts of being with another woman, even though I'm in a committed relationship, would never occur. But it comes up once in a while. But it doesn't mean I'm acting upon it. So
and you might be being generous about saying once in a while. Probably comes up quite a bit.
It depends what kind of relationship you're in, I guess, or how good of a day it is, right? Like, but I would say for me, if it was totally natural, even though I was nature.
Oh, der Typ, der ist Thanos, Digga. Der Typ ist Thanos, Digga. Der ist Endlevel Alpha ist der.
Sure. And you'll only be with one woman, that these thoughts wouldn't occur.
Yeah, sure.
Right. And the thing with me, I'm non-monogamous, so I have a wife, I have a girlfriend, and I still, from time to time, hook up with other girls.
All right. Can the disagree step forward?
I remember when I would go on tour and things like that.
Bro, okay, also Bro.
My friends would always try to encourage me to hook up with girls that were on to me. But I wasn't really into it. And
okay, aber du bist auch kein, also bist du ein Mann? Bist du ein Mann? Also so respectfully bist du ein Mann.
Like there was something wrong with And now I'm at a point in my life where I feel like I'm only having sex with multiple women, so I'm not weird, so I'm quote unquote normal. I feel like even when I do have sex with these random women, it doesn't give me any gratification. And I know that comes with like random sex in the end, but I know in the back of my mind that like I just like simply don't enjoy this. Like I've been with multiple women and I've been with one woman, and being with one woman is just so peaceful. As far as like telling young men that they're born this way and that they should feel this way, it can really not do damage, but just sort of make you second guess things about yourself. Am I normal? Am I weird? Is there something off about me? Everyone else around me is saying that I have to feel this way or I have to do these things, but yet I don't feel the courage to do those things.
I would say that's not true, though. I don't think that we should promote men sleep with multiple women. I think that we should promote choice and what feels right to you. So in your particular case, I would never tell you to sleep with multiple women. I think you might be doing the right thing to do exactly what you're doing and not do it or stop doing it. It's not about pushing it on the young men, but I'll tell you, there's a lot of young men that have a demon inside and maybe are really upset and frustrated with themselves because they feel a certain way. And it's like, oh, I'm coming out the closet, I'm straight, you know, or super straight or too straight or whatever it is. I think that it's really going to be about choice, man. So if me to you, I tell you, if that you don't feel good doing that, man, I wouldn't do it at all.
But I think what I was under the impression with that question was, are we biologically DNA created for that? I say yes, but I loved and I agree with what we're saying here. It's like, but as men, right, in the culture and awareness and being a human being, having a consciousness, choice, language, we can choose not to. We can go against those desires or urges and stuff.
If you feel that desire and you're honest with your partner, I believe that is true. Do I believe that we are biologically meant to, we just biologically want to sleep with more people because we have a penis between our legs and not a vagina? I don't.
Submissive women are more attractive than dominating women.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah. You know.
Yes. Oh, come on,
Hell
man.
yeah. Listen, my shirt says submissive women are sexy. Okay, so.
Yeah, it's true, man. It's true.
Also, komm schon, Digga. Also, ich will keine Frau so respectfully, die mich rumkommandiert und so. Wie es in der Bibel steht, der Mann ist das Haupt der Frau, so wie Christus das Haupt der Gemeinde war. Und die Frau sollte sich unterordnen. Deswegen, Bro, es ist ja.
And look, I think one of the most beautiful things about love is being able to fully take care of a woman in every way, whether that's emotionally, protecting, providing, everything about that. Like every fairy tale that was ever written for all of time was about a man saving a woman from a castle and a dragon, right? Or some sort of scenario like that. And I think that's absolutely beautiful. And I have nothing against women being...
Bro, ich bin euch ganz ehrlich, wenn ich eine Frau liebe, ich will für sie sterben. Ich will für sie sterben. Ich will sie beschützen mit meinem ganzen Leben. Einfach so.
But I do feel like the happiest women in the world are the ones that look up to a man and that he can fight every day to love her and love his kids and his family and provide and be that source of something to actually look up to. Like, I believe a woman can admire a man and it's very, very, very healthy. Am I saying that somebody that doesn't do that is not a man? No, I would never. But ideally, the relationships that are going to work, the relationships in, let's say, the 30s, 40s, 50s, or whenever, you know, we were having nuclear families stay together before we went off the gold standard and inflation pushed everybody to have two people have to have a job. Yeah, dude, I do. I think those relationships are much happier when the man can lead a house and be proud of going out and going to work every day and fighting for his family. Yeah, I do.
There were just a few things that I disagree on. I think that in 2023 especially, I think women just want to be able to look to the side and see their partner as an equal. And I think a lot of women now are, I don't think they're trying to be men. I think what they're realizing is that the qualities that they were looking for in men, they've always had it within themselves. If women are submissive, it's mostly for, I want to say like the validation for the man. I think they know in the back of their heads, like they know now that they can do things on their own. But I don't think they necessarily need a man. And I also would like to ask, if you guys find submissive women more attractive than dominant women, is that because it makes you feel more validated as a man, or is there something there that you feel like feeds into your purpose as a man?
Yeah, well, it's a balance. If I'm a dominant person, I need a submissive.
So, ja,
if I meet a dominant
Natürlich, wenn ich eine feminine Frau habe, dann fühle ich mich automatisch maskuliner, weil wir diese Dynamik haben.
A woman, we're gonna butt heads.
What if that changes? Like, what if she grows? Because I would love everybody to be able to grow throughout life. What if she starts becoming more dominant? Is that like a...
Are you saying if she starts becoming more dominant in our relationship?
More dominant or equal to your dominant?
Oh yeah, she's gone. She's finished. We're done.
And see, that's my thing. Like, look, I got children. I don't need somebody else to take care of. And I love your thing about, you know, the Prince Charming and everything. But you know what I need? I need a badass woman who can match my badass energy. I work with my wife. And I'm gonna tell you, I take care of her, she takes care of me, and she's badass. And that's what I'm attracted to. I don't need a submissive that I have someone to take care of. And then it's fine, you know, if she goes through that, then I'll be there and I will take care of her. But I'm not looking for somebody, another child to take care of and have to dominate and tell, you go over there, this is where we're gonna go to dinner, this is where we're gonna do that. No, that's why what he was saying, I was gonna bring that fact up too. A lot of men are depressed because they put it on this shield of I have to be the leader, I have to do this. And you know who goes to get help first? Women.
If you and your wife have like a conversation about a disagreement and then you guys like a healthy conversation and then she ends up being right in the situation, would you consider her dominating me?
No, I consider her right.
So what's your definition of like dominant? Like you always have to be right? And
No, it's not about right and wrong. It's about who's running the show.
So by her being right, is that not her running the show?
No, that's just her being right in that conversation.
Yeah, a good leader would allow someone else to be right. A good leader doesn't have to be right. He wants the team to win. In fact, I'd call a man insecure if he wouldn't allow a woman to be right on the subject she was clearly.
I like that.
Women should not be in position of power.
Boah. Should not be. Also doch, also sie sollten in Power-Position sein. Also man sollte es nicht so ablehnen.
Game over, just like his hand says.
I'm the only one. I think a woman can be in a position of power only by herself, but not in relation to being in a relationship with a man. Because when she's in a relationship with a man, the man has to be the leader. The man has to be the one that's guiding the situation, directing the situation.
Was heißt Position of Power? Also, dass sie so Bundeskanzlerin sein kann. Oder in einer Beziehung. Also ich glaube auch, dass in einer Beziehung so der Mann leiten sollte. Aber so was geschäftlich angeht, keine Ahnung, eine Frau kann auch CEO sein oder hier Präsident sein. Also ich habe damit kein Problem, solange die halt gut ist. Also.
Situation. If it's in any other situation by herself with work, you know, with her friends or whatever, she can do whatever she wants to do.
So.
Game over. Your game is over.
I first want to ask, because there's a lot of like has to, have to's, but like not really a reason behind it. Like, can I ask, like, what's your reason behind like why a man has to be in the power, like in power? Why can't a woman be in power?
Power is such a weird word. I'll say more like the leadership role. And the thing is that a man has to lead a woman. He has to guide a woman, because what happens is that when it's the opposite, when a woman is leading that man, she usually loses respect for him. When she's in a relationship with a man who is, you know, under her, who's submissive to her in a lot of different situations, then she starts to lose respect for him because she's looking for a man to lead and guide her. If you notice, they have sex with the bad boys, but then the nice guys get tossed to the side. You see, like, why is that?
Well, if you look at them psychologically, they have past traumas and issues probably. But like, look, there's women for you, right? I mean, like, you're on a different scale, what I would say.
So, natürlich, Bro, du kannst nicht für alle Frauen reden. So, manche Beziehungen werden auch so rumklappen, aber ich finde es auch halt besser, wenn in einer Beziehung der Mann leitet und so weiter.
Some women want a guy like you because they don't want to do anything, right? They don't want to take that position. I'm around a lot of women who don't want that. They're in positions of power, not just in work, career, at home. I know a lot of them. I do business. I find women much more pleasant to do business with. But when you're talking about maybe being at home, I don't know. It's just like, I think when you get into your part, your end of the pond, it can get a little bit mucky. You know what I mean? And I don't really subscribe to that as well.
There's a lot of these like rich millionaires are the ones that like have huge high divorce rates and things of that sort. And I think it's because they're just genuinely unhappy. Like, is your woman with you for your security, or did they actually like you as a person? And we're starting to see that, like, yeah, women want me at first, but I don't think it ends well, because after a while, like, they want you for your security. They don't want you for who you are as a person and things of that sort. And that's why we see these millionaires and all these, like, really alpha males getting high divorce rates, because
I think at first it starts off with like security.
Money doesn't make you alpha.
Yeah, I think so.
No, not at all, man.
Nope.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm about to say you educate me. That's why I came here.
A man should not cry in front of his kids.
Ja. Ja. He shouldn't, no. Bro, wisst ihr, was... Ich habe meinen Vater noch nie von mir... Nee, ich habe meinen Vater noch nie von mir weinen gesehen. Ich glaube, wirklich als Kind, dein Vater ist für dich der Größte auf dieser Welt. Du schaust zu deinem Vater herauf und wenn du ihn weinen siehst, Bro, es ist so, wie als wäre die Welt untergegangen. Wie als hätten wir keine Perspektive mehr, wie als hätten wir keine Sicherheit mehr, wie als wäre alles irgendwie verloren. Weil wenn der Typ dort irgendwie Probleme hat, wenn der nicht mehr weiter weiß, dann wie soll ich weiter wissen als sein Kind? So ein Vater ist so, wenn ein Vater weint, dann weißt du, dass das was wirklich, wirklich, wirklich schief läuft, Digga. Also für mich, Bro, meine Mutter weinen zu sehen, es ist sehr schlimm, aber meinen Vater weinen zu sehen, ist nochmal komplett anders. Ich habe noch nie meinen Vater weinen gesehen, aber wenn ich das sehen würde, Bro, dann wär's, Digga.
Ain't popular. It's not gonna be popular to say this. But ideally, you're not gonna cry in front of your kids. They cry to you. Is it fair? No. Is life fair? No. Is the dynamic between a man, a woman, a child fair? No. But personally for me, I want to take that responsibility of being the one that's stronger than all of them. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that responsibility. I want that responsibility in my life. I want to feel like I was a hero to them in every way. And I don't think a man that cries in front of his family is not the hero. But ideally, I'm not going to be doing that.
Right. You know, it's weird. I've never actually seen my dad cry till this day. Like, not even once.
Yeah.
Kids is looking to their father for that strength. And so if they're seeing their dad cry, right, I feel like that creates fear in the situation the kid has with their father. If you're crying in front of your kids, it's the same thing as crying in front of your girl. It's a bad representation of what you're supposed to be in that situation for them.
Now, I'll tell you when I do cry. Bro, when you see like one of those kids with Down syndrome get put in a high school basketball game, he starts nailing threes and the gym goes crazy, bro, I'll be crying my ass off. I'm so happy for the kid. It's like happy, I'm like laughing, I'm like, you know, but other than that, man.
Aber es heißt nicht, dass Männer nicht weinen dürfen. Es heißt nicht, dass Männer nicht weinen dürfen. Männer sollen ab und zu weinen. Also ich finde auch wichtig, dass Männer ab und zu weinen sollten. Aber vor einem Kind, that's crazy. Vor einem Kind ist crazy.
No, not at all. Calm the heat.
Can the person who like has kids?
I was gonna, but look, I have a father who I've never seen cry, so I get that. I was that man. Again, you have to understand my kids. My middle daughter, who I'm going to talk about, is 26 years old. Now, for some reason, out of all three of my children, that middle girl, from the time she turned 13 to 17, 18, we just butted heads, right? And the relationship wasn't going to where it should be going. And I want to be close to my kids. We sat down, she was about 20, maybe 19, 20 years old. We had a heart-to-heart about our feelings and how we really felt about each other, and I cried. And 6 years later, some years later, better relationship than we've ever had, because she saw a human part of me and not just me trying to be what you guys are talking about, which is a good thing too. You can count, my wife can count on one hand how many times she's seen me cry. I think my son had and my other daughter haven't. But I'm going to tell you, for that enriching moment, and that's again just coming with years, of having those tears with her and talking about how important it was that our relationship worked, and then hearing her come back and saying she felt the same way and breaking through that, I'm the father, I'm going to be the strong one, made her break down and both of us be closer than we ever have been.
Can I ask you a question about that? Do you think that if you could have set her down earlier than the age that you did and just had a vulnerable conversation, that maybe it could have happened? Like it wouldn't have had to build all the way up to tears?
No.
She wouldn't have been able to hear it, or?
No, because what was going on from my understanding of our relationship is that, you know, young people, I'm very independent, my children are very independent. They don't want to be controlled in a certain way. And as a father, you still have to keep that control. She was only seeing that side. So she was only seeing this domineering person trying to squish what she thought that she wanted to be or who she wanted to be. And that wasn't it. I was just trying to play the father role. I saw my dad do it. Never a tear. He's that man, you know, and I was raised by that man, and I took that on. I remember sitting my son down and telling him, boys don't cry. And I still to this day regret that. And I still talk to him, he's 24. I still talk to him about I was wrong because I do not think that's the way we're supposed to live our lives. And I think that's why you go back to the statistic of how a lot of men are depressed. We're supposed to have emotions. We're human. Now, I don't believe every time you turn around, you should be in front of your children, ooh, and your wife, like, you know, I think that's a drastic thing.
Ja.
But I know dropping a tear as a father for me made a relationship and so much closer and so much better than it would. I'm telling you, I know than it would have ever been.
You don't think you could have shown that vulnerability without a tear?
No.
My dad was capable of expressing emotion, not from the standpoint of being a whiny little baby. He held it down on my family. My parents are the happiest couple ever seen, still to this day. But my dad was able to, and still is able to, at funerals, be able to show emotion. During movies, when he feels the emotion, be able to show up and do that. I'd never see him whining about, like what you guys are saying, whining about just issues happening in his life, like at work and what he's doing. Never. He deals with that on his own. But he is showing up vulnerably when he...
Boah, ich glaube, so, ich werde weinen, safe bei einer Beerdigung, bei meiner Hochzeit. Boah, Bro, wenn meine Frau dort mit diesem Kleid durch diesen Weg geht, Digga. Da will ich so eine einzige Träne, wird so hier bei meinem linken Auge wird runterkommen. Und dann, das war's.
He is experiencing an emotion, not from a whiny baby place, but from a freeness that he has with it. And I even think, like, when I first went off to college, you know, he's tearing up too.
We all kind of believe that, like, we have to be a hero for our kids, right? Especially when they're super young. And honestly, I agree. I think it's totally, like, you need to be a role model for your kids, you know, and you need to be a safe space, which I completely agree with. But things happen as they grow up, you know what I mean? Especially when they go towards their teen years, when they start being more in touch with their emotions, when they're actually like feeling a lot of different things and feeling the pressure of society and everything that's collapsing around them. Sometimes they don't just need like a hero, they need a father to like commune with, to like actually talk with.
Yes.
Ey, ich hab mir das schlimmer vorgestellt, Digga. Ich hab mir das schlimmer vorgestellt, dass da jetzt so irgendwie Leute angeschrien werden. Du Beta-Mail. Wenn euch das Video gefallen hat, like, kommentieren, abonnieren und wir sehen uns im nächsten Video. God bless.